I couldn't help at one point in my discussions privately with General Secretary Gorbachev, when you stop to think that we're all God's children, wherever we may live in the world, I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together. Well, I don't suppose we can wait for some alien race to come down and threaten us, but I think that between us we can bring about that realization. In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war? I think maybe I'd answer it this way. I keep, in my frustration sometimes, you know, actually, if you count some of the things going on in smaller countries and all, there have been about 114 wars since World War II. But I've often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by a power from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all? We were all human beings, citizens of the world, and wouldn't we come together to fight that particular threat?
All right, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there unto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show to the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. I don't want any brothers to be edified. Pentagon report details plans for assault starships. I'm going to read the headline again. Pentagon report details plans for assault starships. The U.S. military wants to use Elon Musk spaceships to deploy a quick reaction force. And this is all by design. This is all planned out. In order for things to take place, certain things need to be done. In other words, in order for certain prophecies to be fulfilled, certain things need to be done. This whole Elon Musk spaceship, SpaceX, the Dragon, and all this, that was not by accident. Okay? Their intention was always to do that. Trump's Space Force, that was not by accident. Their intention was always to do this. The prophecies are, once again, popping off like popcorn. I'm going to read some of this article and I'm just going straight to the scriptures. It says, landing a rescue force at the U.S. ambassador in Africa threatened by Beijing-style siege is just one of the potential military use for Elon Musk's Starship vessels. According to an internal military report made public on Monday, the document pertains to 2020 cooperative agreement between SpaceX and the U.S. Transportation Command, Transcom, but remains a wish list as the starships are nowhere near ready for actual operation. So they say. Now remember, NASA, which is the head of U.S. space deployments, I want to say it went bankrupt, but it became no more a public thing. It became more privatized. That's where Elon Musk comes along. and what's the other guy? The owner of Jeff Bezos. These guys, they all of a sudden they got the rights to go up top. Why is that? According to prophecy. Matter of fact, let me go to that one real quick. Amos. Is 5 and 10? I haven't read it in a while. Was it Micah? I'm sorry. How did it go again? Oh, I'm right. Amos, the 9th chapter. 9 and 2. It says, Amos 92 says that though they dig into hell, thence will my hand take them. And matter of fact, let me start on one. Slakia. Amos 91. I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the post may shake, and cut them in the head. And the head of what? It's talking about the elites. Alright, cut them where it counts. There's a saying in the world, if you cut a serpent by the head, the body dies. Okay? All of them. And I will slay the last of them with the sword, and he that fleeth of them shall not escape, shall not flee away. And he escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into hell, thence will my hand take them. Though they climb into heaven, thence will I bring them down. So though they dig into hell, which is what? The underground bunkers. You have what's it called? Deep underground military base. And that's them digging into hell. They're basically saying that they're going into within the earth. They built, I believe the video is out, the brother had put it up, that they built this military base underground. They said is big enough for a city of people. So that's them digging into hell. That's them digging into the ground, making it underground bunkers because they try to escape. That's all it is. This is a escape route. The elites are trying to flee. It says, thence will my hand take them. So if those idiots that dig themselves in America, they're just that, idiots. Because America's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. It says, though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. So how did this prophecy how did this prophecy come to pass? They had to have the technology to go up and set up these spaceships, these shuttles. All right. And the spirit too. I was just talking to a brother about it. The best show to watch is the Hundreds. Okay, it takes place 100. I believe it was 100 years later, after the destruction, and there was people in the spaceships. All right, space satellites. That was built generations with that, and they send out 100 children on Earth to see if the Earth was inhabitable. So they already have this thing in motion. Things are just not accidentally created, so to speak. So they had to climb up to heaven. Okay? Matter of fact, real quick, another precept. Isaiah 14, to the point. Let's start at 12. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? It is not talking about the spiritual demon, Satan. It's talking about the elites. All right? When you look up the word Lucifer, is halal in the Hebrew, which means what? The king of Babylon. So who's the current kings? Esau, Edom. All right? It says, described as the king of Babylon. And what is that brightness? That's that knowledge. Okay, they call themselves the illuminated ones. So they try to escape. It says, and this is a future prophecies. It says, son of the morning, how that cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations. By what? By the destruction, by poisoning them, by their policies, the geopolicies. They help to take down all these nations, man. But for that said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. So they ascended up to heaven. Okay? And this article is proving, once again, that these prophecies were just not a saying, that these are true. Alright? It says, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High, which is what? The nation of Israel. And I said, I will set my... I will set also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, and which is North America. I will extend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So that's them dreaming, and that's them in their what you would call it, them thinking that the Heavenly Father, they're thinking themselves to be gods. All right, let's go back to this article real quick. This is a short read. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. It says the Trascom, and partnered with SpaceX back in October 2020, was public knowledge, as the U.S. military actually announced at the time official. The Defense Department wanted to capability.
You had a nightmarish accident.
It says wanted the capability to move equivalent of C-17 payload, just under 80 tons, a single M.A. Abrams tank, anywhere in the globe in less than an hour. As it turns out, the Pentagon had additional ambition, according to the mid-term report, and the program obtaining by the inception through the Freedom of Information Act requests and published on Monday. The fleet of military starships could provide an alternative method for logic delivery in the Pacific, or deliver a collection of shelters, vehicles, construction equipment, and other gear anywhere in the globe at short notice, so the U.S. Air Force could stand up an air base. So they're trying to be able to quickly remove or quickly get their forces all over the planet Earth, but mainly they want to construct an inhabited space. Okay, I believe I saw a video of them. It looked like chariots, but they're not chariots. That's a little space force that they're trying to establish. All right, if I do find it, I'll put it in the post-production or in the beginning of it. No one, I'll find a video, but you get the picture. So this is not a thing of fairy tale. These things are going to happen. And then why do you want to move really quick? Because you're talking about World War III. And World War III is going to commence. Well, the ending of World War III is when the Lord comes. Because that's what they truly trying to fight against. They're trying to fight against the Lord. To be able to move their forces by quick. Okay? That's what all eyes or all heads is on space. Alright? Everything is on space. Proving what this man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And this is why this prophecy is going to take place. Revelations 12:7. It says, and there was a war in heaven. Alright, what's heaven? Shemayim. Alright, space, outer space. There's different levels of heaven. Here on earth, there's a form of heaven. And the rulers of this heaven, alright, which is Esau. And this is our hell. But this war is that's speaking about in this particular scripture is talking about in space. It says there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And that so happens that the name of SpaceX, other than SpaceX, is the Dragon. Okay? You think that was by accident that Elon Musk called his stuff of the Dragon? You think it's by accident that the U.S. Military wants to be involved in Elon Musk's private, quote-unquote, corporation when it comes to space exploration, that they want to set up shop? You think it's by accident that they're talking about they want to be able to get troops all over around the world? No, this is not by accident. All right, this is reality. And what is a dragon? A dragon is a beast. All right, and according to the mythos or the myth of a dragon, dragons can fly. Okay, it says, and the dragon fought and his angels, and we all know that the U.S. military's Air Force is considered to be what? Guardian angels to who? The troops. So there you go. The dragon, the beast. Okay, Esau's beast is gonna go fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels. All right, and who's gonna be the captain of the host? Michael. Just like ID4 or Independence, there's gonna be a great war, but the outcome is not how the movies portray it. The outcome is gonna be a massacre. It says, and prevailed not, neither was there any place found any more in heaven, because this war is going to be the shortest war that's ever created. They're not going to prevail. They're not going to stand a chance. There's not going to be a thing of a virus is going to go up into the chariots and take the chariots down. That will never happen. All right, this is going to be a short-lived thing. So this war that's going to take place in the heavens, this is the war to end all wars. All right, it says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. That's the same spirit that was in the Garden of Eden. All right, that old serpent. Okay. Hey, that's why the scripture, real quick. Let me get that. I must get this. Isaiah 27 and 1. It says, in that day, the Lord was with his sword and great strong sword, which is what? The Lord's military. The angels shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent. So it's not talking about the act. Well, and it says, he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea of the people. It's not talking about Leviathan. That's the Lord's pet. All right, what the world would say, Godzilla, and so forth. This is talking about Esau. All right, there's a Masonic order called, if I'm not mistaken, the House of Leviathan or something like that. I think this is by accident. These terminology, these words are not a thing where random people just put out this information. These things are prophecies being fulfilled. So that serpent, that dragon, that goes back to Esau. Okay? Back to Revelations, 12, and I believe I was in 9. It says, and that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, which devil means deceiver, diablo, deceiver, slander. All right? And Satan means adversary, which deceiveth the whole world. Who deceived the whole world? Was it Satan himself? No, it was the people of Satan. All right, Esau, Edom, They deceived the whole world. They placed themselves as the Most High. They place themselves as the Son of the Most High. They place themselves as the angels. They place themselves as the people of the Most High. All right? They deceived the whole world. Okay? And it says, and he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And the other myth is that Satan himself and 2/3 of the angels fought against Michael, and they got cast out. No, that's not talking about that. There's order in the heavens. Matter of fact, the demon Satan is one of the sons of the Most High. You can read that in Job, the 2nd chapter. Or is it 1st and 2nd chapter, the beginning. So it's not talking about that. It's talking about this new war that's going to take place. The war to end all wars. All right? And right now, our adversary, okay, is fully invested into going to war against Yahushua. That's why Reagan made the statement that he made. He said the world will put their differences aside if they had one common enemy. That was a threat from space. All right? That's why you always got the constant feed where they see chariots and they be cutting off because they know what's coming. Yahushua is on his way. Yahushua is about to get the green light, but from Yahweh. All right? But before all that, this man has to build the proper it's funny because like the Lord is so great. He's allowing this man to build himself up so he could destroy him. So with that being said, I hope you brothers edify. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.